Welcome back to EVE Market, your weekly look at the amarr market. Probably hear a few ships flying in the background because I'm moving my alts with freighters around. Put a lot of minerals in, so I'll probably switch now and then towards them to just to warp them. So you will see that because I'm now doing a screen recording instead of a game recording, or else I'll maybe pick up the wrong client. It's not what I want. So we're gonna look at the prices. We're starting off with titanium. Titanium seems pretty stable. A slight drop here this week in the price, which is very small. But on average, it's still pretty much on the same line on price. It's really very stable for the last few months. If you look at the 3 months, it's slight dips, another slight dip. That's about it. It's not having like big spikes or big drops. It's a very stable price for titanium. For the seller's price, we're sitting at 510. For the buyers, at 502. Slight drop since last week. There was 506. So that's a very small drop for the price for titanium. I'm not really doing too much. Then we take a look at ferrite. Ferrite is also pretty stable. It's here a little bit more movement than titanium, but slightly ups and downs for it, but seems to be on average slightly going down on price. Not really too much, but still it's a small drop. Seller's price 10.94, buyer's price 10.40. Also has slightly dropped since last week. Last week's price was 10.96. So that's a small drop, and it's the lowest price this year for ferrite. That's very nice. Quick jump. There. Then we go on for Maxilon. Maxilon has gone up a little bit here for the last 3-4 days. Slightly going up in price. Not a really big amount. It looks like the Friday was the highest price and the Saturday was a little bit lower again. And Saturday and Sunday is almost at the same price. Looks like today we're seeing a little bit higher, but not too much. There's a slight movement here and suddenly starting getting Maxilon. It went up a little bit here, then it went down again. So I think it's just a slight up in price. And then after it's gonna go down again. What I'm expecting to do. Seller's price 42.67. Buyer's price 41.02. That's a slight drop since last week. 41.26 was last week's price. So we have dropped a little bit, and it is the lowest price for this year for Maxilon. So Maxilon has dropped more. Then we're gonna have Oxygen. Oxygen seems to have done not really too much. There was a spike here. That was the Wednesday. We had a spike here on sales, so a little bit higher price. The next day it straight away recovered again. Then yesterday, Saturday, we had also another spike on sales. We have pretty regular spikes on sales for Oxygen, but it's not doing anything on the price. On average, it still keeps dropping a little bit in price. So yeah, huge sales results still in a drop in price. So there's a bigger supply than demand for Oxygen, but it's starting to push the price down still. Not fast, but it's dropping. 100.96 for the seller's price and 97.49 for the buyers. That is a very slight increase since last week's, because last week's price was 97.07. So the price went slightly up since last week, but still on average the graphs say we are dropping in price. You guys warp again. So yeah, it's slightly on average. The average line says we're dropping, but the price went slightly up. Then we have Noxium. Noxium is usually not a really stable one. It has a certain range where it's sitting in. So it has one day is a little bit higher than the other day in price. So if you time right, you're gonna get it for a good price. On average, it seems to have been dropping. At least the 20-day average says we are dropping in price. 5 days sitting in a certain range, a little bit ups, a little bit downs. Sales for the last few days has been pretty high. You see pretty much on Noxium it has high spikes and it's low sales. High, low. It can really in a few days it can be twice as high and then twice as lower again. It's really moving around pretty a lot on the sales amount, but it's not really affecting the price. For today, on the other hand, we're sitting pretty much higher than the rest of the week before, so this might indicate we're going starting to go up in price again. I'm gonna bother with this 8 units, by the way, the same price as this one. 526.96 for the seller's price, 504 for the buyers. That definitely went up in price. 495.03 was last week's price. So we're increasing the price for Noxium. I already said that this data point was higher, so I expect the price to start going up a bit. But I don't think it's gonna do too much for it. Then we have Zyndred that was going up last week and it's still going up. It's still increasing. We're above the 1500 mark now for Zyndred. Like last week we were sitting close to it and just below it. Let's see, for the buyers we're sitting with just below it last week. But now we have gone above the 1500 with the lines. The 5 days above it, 20 days not yet, but that one will follow pretty quickly. Today we're sitting a little bit lower on the price. So Zyndred is still increasing in price. 1584.60 for the sellers and 1496.79 for the buyers. And that went up again because last week's price was 1451. So clearly it's going up, new highest price for this year for Zyndred. Really surprised these things keep going up in price. We had this huge spike because of the changes, and now it was a moment it was stable, and now suddenly it starts going up in price again. So maybe there's less Zyndred coming out at nullsec. I don't know. Possible. Then we have Megasite. And Megasite is basically doing the same thing as Zyndred. It was going up rapidly because of the announcements. It stayed at that price and now suddenly starts going up in price again. Maybe also because there's less of this coming out of nullsec because the changes of the ore. So also Megasite clearly going up. We are above the 2200 mark. It has a little bit ups and then drops a little bit again, then goes up again. I really have no idea which way it's gonna go this for the next week. Maybe the same thing. Oops, sorry. Some ups and downs and ups, but on average probably it's gonna go up in price for Megasite. 2295.5 for the sellers and 2101.42 for the buyers. Surprisingly, the buyer's price went down. Last week's price was 2137.10. So we went down on price for Megasite. Well, the graph says we are going up, but the buyer's price is dropping for Megasite. So maybe we're starting to get a little bit even on the demand for this. Then our biggest thing, Morphyte. What is this doing? It looks for me, if I look at the last 3 to 4 days, mainly the whole week, it's starting to stabilize around the region between 13,000 and 11,000 per unit at the moment. That's what it looks like. It's starting to stabilize between. So it can pretty much go up and down, but this is pretty much the region where it's starting to stabilize in, because it was having these huge spikes for a while, like here 16,000, another 16,000 here, and then dropping again. But Morphyte has always been very unstable. Go to 6 months. You see how it went up for a huge spike. See, it's always been unstable, a little bit bouncing around, and then here it drops again, bouncing around. It has always a certain region where it's sitting in. But because it bounces around, it can go a little bit up, it can go a little bit down. But it looks like for me that it's starting to stabilize between the 13 and 11,000 per unit. We can clearly more say that next week what it's gonna do. If it's still in this region, then we know more for sure that Morphyte has stabilized between a certain price. For the seller's price, it's in almost at 12,500, 12,493.96 to be exact. For the buyer's price, 10,587.11. That price went down again since last week. Last week's price was 10,997.20. So Morphyte has dropped again a bit in price. So we're definitely seeing a drop. Even for me, I know I need Morphyte badly, because I have so much Tech 2 to produce, but I haven't bought any Morphyte for a while. I'm totally dry on it and I need it, but I'm waiting for the price, what it's gonna do. And of course, because I'm waiting for the price, there's gonna be a bigger supply on the market which is gonna push the price down. So yeah. Some salvage armor plates, they suddenly take a nosedive. Friday they suddenly dropped to about 85,000 per unit. Then the Saturday it went up again to about 91,000 per unit. For today we're sitting just above the 88,000. So armor plates suddenly makes a huge move. And clearly look at Friday, there was a bigger sales amount the day before too. And also the Saturday, because people think, oh shit, the price drops, let's sell my stuff. And because the price went high, not everybody sold it, I think. It's a really good market, people are really keeping an eye pretty well on it, know exactly when to sell and buy. And let's see, for the prices, 93,800 for the sellers, 88, and for the buyers we're sitting at 88,000 flat. That went down since last week. It was 97,000 per unit last week. So that's a pretty big drop. And the lowest price for this year for armor plates. I'll do a quick unload for my stuff. Yes, it has been dropping in the cop hanger. Hold on, I need to do this right. That goes straight in there, that goes straight in there. Of course I need to do it right. Now he needs to go back because I have too many minerals that I need to move. And then you for the same thing. I am pretty quick in this, I'm making this trip so many times. So keep them traveling together, it's easier for clicking. Alright, burn logic circuits. Let's go to the graph. Burn logic circuits, also this one is suddenly starting to drop in price. It was pretty high in the beginning of this week, sitting around 39,500 per unit, and suddenly it dropped. and without having a big sales amount. It suddenly dropped to about 38,000. Next day it recovered again to about 39,000. And after that it dropped again to about 38 and below it even. So clearly Burn Logic Circuits starting to drop in price. It has been unstable for a pretty while. Sales amount definitely went up a little bit higher because the price dropped. So people suddenly thinking, now the price is dropping, still want to get maximum out of it. So yeah, that's what seems to be happening here, and people start dropping it on the market. 37,860 for the seller's price. For the buyers, 37,850.01. And don't give it. Thing about that one is there extends there, but well. Last week's price we were sitting at 39,501, so the price clearly dropped pretty rapidly for Burn Logic Circuits. But it is also pretty clear to see here in the graph that the price suddenly dropped. So yeah, Burn Logic Circuits dropping in price. Not clearly why. I think there was just pretty lot of small orders up, and they got fulfilled pretty quickly, but pushing the price down now. For the interface circuits, one of those that is not dropping in price. On the counter thing even, it's slightly going up in price for today at least. It's been pretty stable for the whole week. It's sitting around, yeah, pretty much the same line the whole week has been there. The line says a little bit different, but if you look at the average price per day, it's sitting pretty much at the same on average. Except for today, we're sitting a little bit higher for it. For the sellers, more than 500 units of course, 5,201.15. For the buys, 4,950. It went a little bit up the price. Last week's 4,750. So it went a bit up with 200 for the price for Friday interface circuits. If it's gonna keep on going, hard to tell. If I look at the supply and demand, I expect this will go up more because there are pretty decent size orders up here. There's 110,000 plus units. These are also pretty big ones, and it's not even close to what I see here on the market. These are the only orders up, but still 110,000, 94,000 and then 59,000 are pretty normal prices for this, and so expect the price to go up more. Then multi-capacitor consoles, they are starting to drop in price still. They have been dropping for pretty while. There's a huge sales amount here for a few days because people have been buying this stuff up pretty a lot cheap, and they're now seeing clearly the price keeps dropping for this, and I think it's now the right moment to sell this stuff to make a good profit out of it. What they probably have done, because they probably have bought it in the right moment, they could have like a whole load of this for about 2,000 per unit, and now they can sell us. They probably now have sold it. So if they sold it right here, where this first spike starting to get, they made almost 3 times as much from what they bought for. So they maybe bought it for 2,000, they sell it for almost 6,000 per unit, so that's a very good profit for them. But clearly if you have supplies of these, the price is dropping. It's already dropping for like a month. It has now then spikes a little bit up, but after that it straight drops down. So multi-capacitor consoles price is dropping. If you want to make a good amount of money out of it, don't wait too long. Unless you want to take risks, I say don't wait too long, because this is dropping. You can see there's hardly any buyers here in amarr, so this can pretty quickly drop the price if all these get fulfilled. Seller's price 6,100. 6,200 and round it up for a moment. It's more than 500 units for the sellers. For the buyers, it's sitting just above the 5,000. Like I said, price is dropping. It has dropped. 5,300 was last week's price, so keep an eye on it. If you have a supply lying around, melting capacitors consoles are dropping in price. Trip power circuits. Afraid it's about to jump. Trip power circuits. Wow, they make also a huge nosedive here in this week time. Let's see, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday was the last day. It was sitting at 30,000. Tuesday suddenly dropped down to 28,000, so 2,000 drop. Then went slightly up again, and slightly down again, and makes another huge dive down to about 26,000 per unit. And after that it went even below it. No huge amount of sales, so a lot of orders probably got fulfilled. Then what's pushing the price now so rapidly down? Or maybe if people have taken the orders away, making the price drop. See, even here this line is dropping way below towards the 23,000 even. That's very, very low. Quick look at the yeah, the lowest sales price was 23,000 for a trip power circuits. The highest was 28,600. So on the average we're sitting at 25,000. So yeah, 23,000 was the lowest price at the moment of the trip power circuits. God damn my freighters. So yeah, trip power circuits are really dropping. So look at the supply and demand quickly. Still, it looks like there's a bigger demand than supply. If you look at the amount that's on the market. Well, these are the only orders here. There are not too many orders up. So yeah, I guess this is gonna stay low. The price more like around the 25,000 for at least another week, or maybe even longer. So if you have something for this, there's a chance this is gonna stay this low. But also people think it's low and starting to put up buy orders and pushing the price up again. So seller's price 28,609. That's more than 500 units, and then for the buyer's price 25,650. It has dropped, like I said. Last week's price was 30,000 flat, so that's almost a 4,500 drop in a week time for trip power circuits. They have dropped pretty a lot. Take a quick look at Plex, what it's doing. It seems to be pretty much stabilizing around the 920, with now then a little bit higher price to 930 above. You can clearly see the 5-day is going up and down a little bit on average. Sorry, I had to sneeze for a moment. So, but it has ups and downs a bit. It has more lower prices around below the 920, going to 915. So yeah, it's going a little bit up and downs. Let's look at the data. Yeah, seller's price around 920 million. Buyer's price is at 906.9 million. I don't think I updated last week, so I think that's 2 or 3 weeks ago that price. So last time the price I wrote down was 903 million, so it went up like almost with 3-4 million up in price for Plex. So yeah, Plex is definitely going up. That's a new record on price, by the way. It's very high. That's a new record here in amarr, at least on the price for Plex, so it still keep going up for it. So thanks for watching for this week's video in amarr. It's a strange light on my face. I put the camera this way. Yeah, it's a bit weird, very light. So that was at least this week's look at the amarr market. I'll see you all next week. That's at least gonna be on my regular schedule again, because then I'm gonna have weekends away again. So I need to plan out when I'm gonna do my videos. I'm still gonna, as usual, try them every week or 1.5 weeks, so you guys keep up to date on the market in amarr. Maybe it's an option to start moving the videos more in the middle of the week. Gonna be a lot of weekends away, because I'm home next weekend, and then gonna be 2 weeks away in the weekends, then 1 weekend home, and then again away for 2 weeks in the weekend. So I probably maybe move the videos towards more of the middle of the week, so you guys can keep up to date, because in the weeks I am home anyway. So that's maybe an idea to start doing that for a while, and then later on starting to switch back to the Sunday. So yeah, thanks for watching for this week's amarr market video, and see you all next week. Fly safe.